Today we are thrilled to have Sinn's latest limited edition here to review for you. After much anticipation and following the successful launch of its U50 collection of smaller case divers, Sinn has given the world one of their much-loved classics with a new look and a few added features. Let us present to you Sinn's U1 DS dive watch. Upon first glance, you'll notice this model retains many of the features from other U1 models. The baton hands, excellent loom, solid case and captive bezel, but the notable difference is in the dial. Each dial is individually hand-ground with an irregular and unique pattern that Sinn tells us is designed to catch and reflect light nuances. Before we saw this watch, we weren't quite sure how Sinn was going to achieve this effect. But looking at it now, we're pleasantly surprised. It really works as a design feature without detracting from the legibility of the dial. Moreover, each dial in the 500-piece edition is unique because each one is hand-finished. That's a really nice touch. Something we do find quite good about the grey finish is that the date stands out well, perhaps better than on the black dials of the standard models. The overall impression is one of depth and balance. A small refinement of the U1 DS is the use of a black second hand instead of a red hand used on the black dial of the U1 models. We feel the lighter dial on the U1 DS allows this concession, and it also keeps the palette neutral if you're after a slightly more formal dive watch option. But it isn't all about a cool dial and new optics. As you'd expect, Sinn has made sure that the U1 DS delivers on the technical front as well, and this is where the real features come into their own. The case and crown are made of high-strength, seawater resistant German U-boat steel, which delivers outstanding anti-magnetic and corrosion-resistant properties. In addition, the surface of the case and captive diver's bezel with minute ratcheting have also been hardened with Sinn's Tegement technology, rendering them especially abrasion resistant. The bezel, you'll notice, has white markings that we feel work well on this piece. Traditionally, Sinn has used black numerals on their steel bezels, but you lose nothing in terms of legibility with the white, especially as the Tegement finish gives a slightly darker surface colour. As with other U1 models, the crown is lowered to the 4 o'clock position to facilitate a wider scope of wrist movement, and in keeping with the case finish, the crown of the U1 DS is also tegemented for added resilience. If you team this case up with Sinn's tegemented bracelet, you have yourself a very tough dive watch, capable of withstanding 100 ATM or 1000 metre water resistance. To this end, the U1 DS has been verified and certified by DNVGL as meeting the European diving equipment standards. Another added feature of Sinn dive watches that often goes under the radar. If we flip the U1 DS over, you'll see the screwed case back, which protects an automatic SW200-1 movement with second stop function. Many years of trials and testing have proven this movement both reliable and robust, otherwise Sinn wouldn't be using it. So that's a rundown of the specs, but how does it look on the wrist? Given the case is 44mm in diameter and 14.7mm high, we think it wears well for these dimensions, but that's a characteristic of all Sinn's U1 watches. Surprisingly, despite their chunkiness, U1 models do sit well on most wrists. The U1 DS is no exception, and the steel bezel, grayscale and anti-reflective sapphire crystal harmonise the look even further when worn. Of course, if you prefer something smaller, Sinn's U50 might be the better option, but we've always liked the classic Sinn look and feel of the U1 model. To wrap up the review today, we'd like to say we didn't think we'd be as impressed with this piece as we were. The U1 DS isn't just another limited edition with a facelift. It's an improved and altered version of a much loved and well-tested classic. And when you combine fan favourites with good design and enhanced functionality like we see in the U1DS, well, we think you've got a limited edition that won't be around for very long. If you'd like to secure a U1DS, please get in touch, sooner rather than later. Thanks for watching and see you next time.